Well, guys, we are live, and welcome to my review for tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw, the July 3rd, 2017, Independence Day Eve edition of Monday Night Raw, and certainly the fireworks were flying on this episode of Monday Night Raw, and I can say finally, Monday Night Raw has put on a good go-home show. I can't tell you the last time that this show had a good go-home show. It escapes my memory. That's how long it has been. So I applaud you, Monday Night Raw, for actually putting on a show that got me excited for Great Balls of Fire this Sunday, live from Dallas, Texas. Raw tonight, live from Phoenix, Arizona. If you're watching in the live chat, thanks for joining, guys. Leave your comments there. What you thought of Raw, and if you're excited for Independence Day tomorrow, one of my favorite holidays. We're less than 43 minutes, so hope you all have a good Independence Day as well. But I'm shocked. I am really shocked that we got a good go-home show from Raw, because we don't get good go-home episodes of Raw that often. So you know what? I figured, what the hell? I'm coming up here. I'm going to talk about what we got on this episode of Monday Night Raw from start to finish. And like I said, live chat open throughout the entire review, so feel free to express your opinions and use your First Amendment rights. So without further ado, let's talk about Monday Night Raw. We'll kick things off with a very strong promo from Enzo Amore. These last couple weeks, man, Enzo's been really, the best way I could describe it is he has been pouring his heart out in these promos. You know, he talked about getting knocked back down and having to get back up, and how, you know, going to the dark side, you know, becoming a bad guy, that's not for him. He's going to do things the right way, and he called Cass a casshole. So I found it funny that he brought that up, but hashtag casshole, because he is a casshole. That's what he is. Just a really strong promo from Enzo. And it was a serious Enzo Amore. It wasn't really much the joking around comedy Enzo that can kind of get on your nerves and get annoying. No, this was good Enzo Amore. Something that we didn't see too much from Enzo on the main roster up until this point. But man, one of his best promos, I'd have to say, that I enjoyed here on the main roster. I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what goes down between Big Cass and Enzo at Great Balls of Fire. God, I just can't get enough of saying that name. So yeah, really strong stuff to open up Raw. Big Cass was shown backstage watching on a television monitor. Enzo Amore would, put some karma on Big Cass. He attacked him from behind, and we had a nice pull-apart brawl. So I have really enjoyed, like I said, I wasn't a fan of Enzo and Big Cass splitting up. I just thought that they had a lot left in the tank for when it came to the tag team division. Really thought they should have got a run with the tag titles. Probably could have got another year plus out of them as a tag team. But I think, I give them credit, they are making the most of Big Cass and Enzo Amore splitting from each other. So kudos to what WWE has been able to do so far. And I think big things, no pun intended, are down the line for a heel Big Cass. I always saw potential in him. You know, I knew they were eventually going to split, but seeing it play out right in front of me, it's been fun to watch. We had women's tag team action on this show. Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. Eventually, this became essentially a 2-on-1 handicap match. Bayley was taken out after Nia Jax rammed her knee first into Bayley's head in the barricade. And like I said, Sasha Banks had to fight off both Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. And Banks was able to fend off both, as she was able to lock Alexa Bliss in with the Banks statement. And Alexa Bliss tapped out to Sasha Banks. Now, found that interesting here. That probably means that at Great Balls of Fire, that Alexa Bliss will retain, because you know how WWE's booking goes. But match here, I found it interesting that Bayley was taken out. Like I said, she just continues to I don't know what you do with Bayley at this point, but I think the best thing that you can do with Bayley at this point is to rebuild her from the bottom, work her way back from the bottom, and get her back to the top, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done when it comes to Bayley, and it's a shame because Bayley was one of my favorites to watch on NXT, and just to see how she's been used on the main roster is disappointing to see. But I am excited that we are going to be getting an Alexa Bliss-Sasha Banks match. I'd love to see this feud. It's barely happened. I mean, Sasha Banks literally last week became the #1 contender. So I'd like to see this feud continue to SummerSlam, and have Sasha win the championship there in the same building, where her and Bayley made history. Last year she obviously fell to Charlotte, but I think it would be a nice turnaround for Sasha Banks. And I think it would be a really good feud for the Raw Women's division to have it continue past Great Balls of Fire. Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss. I want to see those two in the ring cut a promo against one another. Just let them go out there and talk, because I think they could have a really good in-ring promo segment. And we're not going to get it because this week's the pay-per-view, so we didn't get that tonight. But let this feud continue. Let this feud breathe. Like I said, I think this is the best thing going forward for the Raw Women's division, and I'm looking forward to the match that they're going to have at the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view card. Backstage, we had Braun Strowman go right up to Kurt Angle, and he pretty much said to Kurt, I want some real competition tonight because Roman Reigns was not going to be on this show. Although we saw later on how that played out. And, he asks Angle, Angle says everyone's booked, and he is sure no one wants to face Strowman 6 days out from a pay-per-view. And Strowman says, I will walk down to that ring, and you will give me competition because he's Braun Strowman. He can do whatever the fuck he wants, and he expects it. So we saved that for the main event later on in the show, and I thought that paid off really nicely on the show. Had a great video package hyping up Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar, a match that I am very, very excited for. I cannot tell you the last time that I was more excited for a match. It feels like a big-time match, a fresh match, something that we haven't seen, somebody that has been able to take Brock Lesnar to the limit in this storyline. It's been fun to watch. I've enjoyed it. Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar, and I really enjoyed what they did later on in this show. But a really strong video package here. Great stuff from WWE, hyping up their clash at Great Balls of Fire. Something that wasn't great was Cedric Alexander versus Noam Dar. Poor Cedric. He did get the win. That was nice to see. I just hope to God that this long, drawn-out feud between Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar and the beautiful Alicia Fox is over. Let's move Cedric into the Cruiserweight Championship title picture. That would be nice to see him go after that belt. And yes, I'm going to use the word belt because I know it pisses Vince McMahon off. So make sure you call it a belt just to piss Vince off. Yeah, but this feud needs to be deleted, delete. So I hope I never see them fight again. Don't need to, please. After this, we had Miz TV. He came out with Maurice, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel, the entourage, the Miz-tourage, or whatever they're calling it. And I'm digging the pairing between Miz, Maurice. Of course, they're great as a heel couple. That's great getting so much heat. And the additions of Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, they weren't doing much with them. Why not? And who knows? We'll see where they go. Maybe they'll get a run in the tag team division. Why not? What do you got to lose? But Miz came down. He talked about that legendary segment the week before with LeVar Ball, the Ball family. Because, we have a pay-per-view called Great Balls of Fire, so bring the Ball family on. And he talked about Dean Ambrose, switched subjects to Dean Ambrose, talking about how everybody thought he was going to be the next Roddy Piper, how he couldn't handle the success, how he crumbled under the pressure, and how Dean Ambrose is pretty much a joke now. Is saying some truth there? I don't know. But Ambrose eventually comes out on stage, and then Heath Slater and Rhino show up, and Heath Slater says, well, I pinned The Miz last week, and it wasn't you, Ambrose, so I should be the one that gets the Intercontinental Championship opportunity. And eventually it would lead to Kurt Angle coming down, and he said, well, Miz, you don't have an opponent. at the pay-per-view this Sunday. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have you fight Heath Slater tonight, and then the winner of the Intercontinental Championship match tonight on Raw will face Dean Ambrose, who's owed his rematch. So this led to Heath Slater versus The Miz. And I thought it was a really solid match, a really enjoyable Intercontinental Championship match. And what I saw between these two, Heath Slater and The Miz, by the way, Miz's pants ripped tonight in the middle of the ring because he didn't have his wrestling gear on because he wasn't prepared to fight tonight. So that was kind of funny. I really like this match, and I would really like to see down the line a feud between Heath Slater and The Miz. I just think they work well off each other. You know, Heath Slater, you know, kind of the average guy, you know, comes from West Virginia. He's got kids, and The Miz, this preppy douche Hollywood D-bag. He's got the beautiful wife, the picture-perfect life. They're polar opposites in that sense, and I think it could lead to an intriguing feud, and certainly much better than a played-out feud between Dean Ambrose and The Miz, which is a match that hopefully after Great Balls of Fire that I never, ever have to see again. I don't want to see that match for a long, long time. Please, just delete it. But Heath Slater looks like he was going for the win here, but of course, Curtis Axel tries to get involved. Rhino pulls him down. Rhino almost ran into Maurice, and it got me thinking, didn't Rhino once gore Lita? I was thinking he might do it. Rhino might, but he didn't. So that led to Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas attacking Rhino. That leads to Heath Slater getting distracted. Miz hits the skull-crushing finale, and after the match, Miz celebrates. They beat down Heath Slater. Dean Ambrose tries to get in the ring, make the save. Ambrose gets beaten down, and the Miz Taraj celebrates. So it's going to be Dean Ambrose versus the Miz for the 10,000th time. You guys excited? Come on. Are you guys excited? Yeah, I didn't think so. So hopefully we move on from this Dean Ambrose Miz feud because it is never ending. It's like the never ending story. It just never ends. Oh boy. But it was a good match, I'd have to say, between Heath Slater and The Miz. We had an in-ring segment with the artist known as Gold Dust. He welcomed everybody to his latest masterpiece, The Shattered Truth, and they pretty much showed this movie, which is showing Goldust beating the crap out of R-Truth. As he's watching the movie, R-Truth is eating popcorn behind Goldust, and R-Truth proceeds to beat the crap out of Goldust. I thought really strong mic work here from Goldust. I liked the video package that they played, just showing Goldust beat the hell out of R-Truth. It's great, like I keep saying, sound like a broken record, but it's great seeing that classic 1997, actually 95 to 97 era Goldust back. Now, if only we could get the wig back, Marlena back, smoking the cigarettes, and, you know, I'd like to see Goldust go after that Intercontinental Championship and maybe have a run with that Intercontinental Championship one last time. I don't know about you guys. You've been enjoying seeing classic Goldust back, but I've even been enjoying the feud between him and R-Truth. Dare I say, I didn't think I would, but it's just been really solid week in and week out. So this was good stuff. We had Kurt Angle talking to Cesaro and Sheamus, and he announced that they will defend against the Hardys in a 30-minute Iron Man tag team match. Now that's unique, and that's a good way to blow off their feud. So I am looking forward to that match at Great Balls of Fire. And Cesaro said, well, I want to fight somebody tonight. And Kurt Angle booked him in a match against Finn Balor. So that was really good to see. Something that wasn't really good to see, and that did make my list, was Seth Rollins versus Kurt Hawkins. Again, Seth beat him, hit him with the knee to the nose. That was cool. And afterwards, Rollins talked about fighting Bray Wyatt, how he's not going to prove he's a god and prove that Wyatt is either a man or a coward, or do you guys care? Because honestly, I just don't care about this feud between Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt. It is ice cold. As the great band Foreigner once said, and you know where I'm going with this if you're a fan of classic rock, it's as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love. And you get the point. This feud is cold as ice. That would be a great song to play over the video package for this feud. So WWE, Kevin Dunn, if you're listening, use Cold as Ice for the Seth Rollins Bray Wyatt promo package, because I think that would just be phenomenal. But yeah, I don't care. And then Bray Wyatt's in the desert, which is a great place for him to be because he's as directionless as being in the desert. And he's continuing on with rambling on and on and on. About what? I don't know, but I'm losing interest week in and week out with Bray, the Rambler, and the Eater of Pins, Wyatt. But you know something that did have my attention throughout was the interview between Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. This was great stuff. This felt like at any moment tensions would boil over. Joe hijacked the interview at the onset. Pretty much said, "Let me ask the questions, Michael Cole." And he was just prodding Lesnar. He kept prodding Lesnar how he's going to walk into the pay-per-view, and he called Lesnar called Joe a coward, and Joe pretty much said he will find you, Lesnar. He doesn't care if they have to separate them and put them in separate rooms in this interview room. That he don't care, He's going to go and kick Brock Lesnar's ass. And Joe eventually got up mid-interview, and he wanted a piece of Brock Lesnar's ass. And I was hoping to see Joe walk into that room. He got right up to the door. Security was trying to keep him at bay. Kurt Angle keeping him at bay. And Lesnar's just standing there at the door as Joe's yelling, "Lesnar!" And the security pulls Joe away. Smart to keep these two from touching each other until the pay-per-view, until they fight, until they go into that ring and tear the holy hell from each other. It is going to be one hell of a fight. And what they did tonight was great. This feud has been phenomenally booked. And I certainly wouldn't complain if this feud continued past this pay-per-view and into SummerSlam. That's how good it's been. Really anticipate what goes down between Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. I will talk more about that match in my Great Balls of Fire preview video later on in the week. But really great stuff here between Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. Like I said, this feud has been great from start to finish from all parties involved. After this, we had Neville versus Mustafa Ali. Very hard-hitting match, I'd have to say, but a good match. I think Neville and Mustafa Ali have some good chemistry. I think down the line, it would make a good feud/program for Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. You got Neville versus Cesaro this Sunday at the pay-per-view. It's on the pre-show, but I will be tuning in to watch that match because it's Neville versus Akira Tozawa. It's a match I wanted to see for a while now, so I look forward to seeing what Neville is able to do. But I thought Neville displayed his viciousness very well here. I believe he is now 18-1 in singles matches on Raw, so they really have done a great job at building Neville up as a credible champion. And I thought Ali looked good in this match, and he's somebody that I could get behind if we saw more of him and got to know more about his background, who he is, and just see more of his in-ring work. But I thought here, against the champion, there was one really scary spot where Ali hit a tilt-a-whirl DDT, and it looked like Neville, I don't know if it was just his selling was really well or he got a stinger perhaps, but that was a really sick-looking spot. And there was an attempt where Ali kicked Neville in the face, and he went for an inverted 450 splash, and that's where Neville cut him off and tried to back suplex Ali. So that was another nice sequence there. But, of course, Neville was able to lock in the rings of Saturn, and Ali tapped out to the king of the Cruiserweights. Later on, we had our next match of the evening. It was Cesaro versus Finn Balor. Really fun, solid match here. We had the Hardy Boys on commentary, and Sheamus was at ringside, and eventually the Drifter would interfere in this match. He would drift down to ringside, and I thought when Elias Sampson, I thought he was going to cost Finn Balor the match, or I thought, oh, here we go. Drifter's going to come down, distract Finn Balor, and that'll lead to Cesaro getting the win. But actually, no, Balor actually kicked out of that near fall distraction attempt. So that was nice to see for a change. Balor not lose there. And then, of course, the Hardy Boys would come down. Balor would dive over the top rope on everybody, laying everybody out. This match was fun. It was just kind of pure chaos all around. And Jeff Hardy, Matt hit a twist of fate on Samson. Sheamus hit a bro kick on Matt Hardy. Jeff Hardy dove onto Sheamus. Cesaro hit Jeff Hardy with a running European uppercut. Balor came back in and actually on the outside, he hit the torpedo drop kick into Cesaro into the barricade. So that was a really nice looking spot. And then Balor threw Cesaro back in, hit the coup de grace for the win. So really fun match between Cesaro and Finn Balor. And I would like to see these two down the line go at it 15, 20 minutes on pay-per-view. That would be really great to see. And then we had an ambulance come down to the ring, and Braun Strowman would make his way down to the ring, and he was wondering who his opponent for tonight was going to be. Titus O'Neil came out and announced that it was going to be Apollo Crews. So we had Apollo Crews versus Braun Strowman. Apollo had his moments here and there, but when he attempted to go for the standing shooting star press, I believe that's what it's called, or the standing moonsault, excuse me, Strowman kicked him midair out of the way. I was like, holy shit. I've never seen anybody do something like that. God, I love Braun Strowman. I just love seeing him beat the shit out of people. And when he hit the running power slam, held Cruz up. Hit the running power slam again, held Cruz up. Hit a third running power slam on Apollo Crews, and that finally finished him off. Your winner is Braun Strowman. He takes Apollo Crews, dumps him in the ambulance, starts tapping on the ambulance saying, get out of here. Taps on the ambulance again, says, get out of here. Taps on the ambulance. Third time, looks inside the driver's side of the ambulance, and then Roman Reigns appears. Him and Braun start brawling. The place is going nuts. They go up on the stage. Reigns and Strowman. Reigns pushes Strowman through the LED board of the stage, and then Reigns spears Strowman off the stage onto a table. Man, that was a really sick-looking spear. Place is going nuts. I can't wait for this ambulance match between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, who did get to his fate. And that's how we went off the air here, with Reigns looking like, what the hell do I got to do to put this guy away? So really nice way for Raw to go off the air here, and a solid go-home show. I cannot tell you the last time that we had a good go-home show for Raw. So good job, Raw. Now I'm actually looking forward to the pay-per-view. That's what your whole goal should be, and that's what the go-home show should really do, is increase my level of excitement. Usually these go-home shows decrease my level of excitement, but tonight was a different case. Tonight was good. Keep the momentum going. I want to enjoy Raw week after week after week as we are on the road to SummerSlam. And I'm looking at the calendar, July 31st. Mike, I know you're in the live chat. Me and my friend, the Club of the Man 1993, we will be going to Monday Night Raw, July 31st in Pittsburgh, PA. So I want to see the momentum going as we head into Great Balls of Fire and head into SummerSlam. So, guys, my grade for Raw tonight is a B. Giving it a B. It was a good show tonight. So that, guys, is my thoughts on Monday Night Raw. Make sure to leave your thoughts about Raw in the comment section down below. What grade you would give Raw. What did you like? What didn't you like? All that great stuff. I want to say, guys, thank you for checking out this live video. Thank you all for participating in the live chat, as always. And before I go off the air here, as you all know, tomorrow is one of my favorite holidays of the year, Independence Day. And you know, we here in Pittsburgh, we do it right. We'll have the EQT flashes of freedom fireworks. Pittsburgh will light up with fireworks. It'll look beautiful. You can watch from the point on the Three Rivers. Pittsburgh's a beautiful city. I'm not just saying that because I live here. And it's one of my favorite things I look forward to every year. It's incredible. It really is. If you know what I'm talking about. If you're from Pittsburgh, proud to be from here. And I'm proud to be an American as well. Yeah, it's hard to believe it's already the 4th of July tomorrow. We'll probably not be doing a SmackDown review. We'll have to catch SmackDown later. But, yeah, guys, I just hope you all out there have a safe Independence Day. America will be 241 years young. Hard to believe. when they signed that Declaration of Independence. So I just want to say to all my American viewers, have a great 4th of July. To all my non-American viewers, just have a great day in general. And to everybody watching this live review, thank you for watching. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Till then, guys, thanks for watching and have a happy and safe 4th of July. Good night, guys.